Alright everybody, this is going to be the last video in the series of looking for genetic diversity in your garden to maybe create new heirlooms. And I'm down here in the pumpkin patch right now, and I've only really found amaranth, lamb's quarters, and some squash that are a little bit different than the rest of them. And if you can kind of see these, there's like these little pumpkins and stuff down here, but there's a lot of butternut squash. And this is what a butternut squash looks like if you've never seen one. I'm sure most of you guys have. And they've got a nice long neck, and they've got the base down here. And when you cut these open, most of the seeds are right in here. So this neck part's really the best part. It's just all meat. And they're really great for baking and making all different kinds of stuff. And this little squash patch goes all the way from there to there. And I found something that's pretty interesting, and I'm going to try to mount this camera real quick to show you. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me see if I can. There we go. Sorry about that. But there's one plant of butternut squash right here that is producing different types of squash. Now, it's a butternut squash, but it has no neck. And once in a while, you'll probably get maybe one of them that just doesn't grow right. But normally, other ones on the same plant would look normal. I don't know if you guys can see me, alright. But this plant right here is genetically different because both of the fruits on this plant have no neck. They're actually a butternut squash that's round. So this is completely, totally different. These are the only ones in the whole garden that I've seen that are like this. And as far as I know, I mean, this could be a whole new species, or not species, but variety of butternut squash. Now, I've looked online, I've tried to find butternut squash that are round like this, and I haven't had any luck. So if any of you guys know of anything, please let me know in the comment section, or please send me a video of some round butternut in your garden. But the questions that I started asking myself is, when the original butternut squash was developed or selectively bred for those to look like a butternut, when it was meant to look like that, did they get that variety from round butternuts? Are these the original butternut squash before they had the long neck, and somebody said, hey, that's got a lot of meat in it, so let's keep that? So they just kept producing it, and now the traditional butternut squash looks like this. It's got a neck to it. Now, is this an old variety of butternut, or is it something completely, totally different? I don't know that. But if there was just one of them growing on here and the rest of them look normal, I wouldn't think too much of it on the same plant. But since this plant is genetically producing round butternuts, I'm going to keep the seeds from these and try to grow round butternuts next year. And even if let's say half of them produce these round butternuts, it's going to tell me that it's a genetic variation. It's genetic diversity in the butternut squash. So I'm hoping to keep the seeds from these guys, grow them, and maybe have a totally new variety of butternut squash that's round. Now, yeah, you don't have the big part that's meaty, but who knows? This might be great. It might be a cool addition to people's gardens or something like that. I don't even know. I was thinking like there's already buttercup squash. Maybe call them like butterball squash or something like that. Like the butternut. But yeah, this is totally different. This is genetically diverse. The whole plant right here, that comes from right here, is producing round butternut squash. And if you guys know anything about this, if you guys have come across this or seen pictures of round butternut squash, please let me know. I'd like to know if this is the original butternut squash before they had the neck, or if this is something completely, totally different. Because either way, I'm going to keep the seeds from these and try to start producing round butternut squash or butterballs or something. But I'm sure somebody else has probably got round butternut somewhere. But yeah, this is it right here. This is genetic diversity in your garden. looks completely, totally different than these guys right here. So they're not as big, they're kind of smaller, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a new variety. So so stay tuned. Hopefully next year I'm going to be growing these for sure, and hopefully I'll start getting some round butternuts or something. If not, if at least half of them produce round, that's going to tell me it's genetic diversity. It's a new variation, and I'm just only going to keep the seeds from the round ones and just eat the ones that aren't round, and just try to keep this as many times as I can, so that way hopefully it'll start producing only round butternut squash after so many generations or so many years. So I hope you guys enjoyed this this series about looking for genetic diversity in your garden. I hope you guys kind of will too. And if you guys do any videos on some possibly new heirlooms in your garden, or something that looks a little bit different, and you think it might be a new variety, please send me a video response. Just attach it below in the comment section as video response. I'd love to see it, because this stuff really interests me. I'm really interested in, you know, heirloom seeds and creating new heirloom seeds, and the whole genetic variation in everyday crops, you know. So thanks for watching, guys. You guys all have a great day. Take care.